What's up?
Got the signal.
We're on.
We are
I
on.
gotta check it out.
Another Tuesday night.
I meant to check it out.
Fire the starter pistol. We're off the line. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here tonight. I guess we're going to do an official checker outer because one time we did about 90% of the show with about 1% sound. There it is.
That's
All right.
that's the percent we needed.
There we go.
Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Here we go.
Still don't know how you get it done.
Come on, man. And with the local DBC news, LL Cool J with the
Thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Kevin Ricca.
Man, everyone's trying to knock someone out these days here in the WCAC. We're getting started. It's time. It's on. It's our time, and I can't wait.
He's Tim Strachan.
It's getting close, fellas. This is the part that we've been waiting for since we've been doing this. This is the right on the cusp of the season starting, and other than the stag on stag violence I went through on Sunday night, I unfortunately had to take out a deer on GW Parkway.
I'm glad you clarified that because I'm sure some out there had a few questions for
Yeah,
you.
Stag on stag violence.
It wasn't immediately clear.
I did go to my 25th reunion on Saturday night. There was no violence going on. It was all love. It was great to see those guys. Class of '94. It was awesome to see you guys there. It was so much fun. But looking forward to the football we're about to see, though, boys.
It's on.
League play is here in earnest. The First Amendment Sports WCAC Game of the Week. We'll be talking about that on a weekly basis, and we're going to start this week at Bishop McNamara hosting St. John's. That's right. Your First Amendment Sports WCAC Game of the Week this week is Bishop McNamara High School hosting St. John's Cadets. Well, let's start with the Bishop McNamara Mustangs because we finished with them last week. I was very happy that they got this game in before their ridiculously hard WCAC schedule.
The hardest schedule in the country.
What we wanted was a single-digit defensive performance and a little bit of a little something extra from the offense. Not get out of the 20s and 38-6, I think it was.
Yeah, it was
38.
It was 38-6. It was well handled by the Mustang.
Proud of Coach
Contingent.
Malloy on his way into the Hall of Fame this Friday evening, Bishop McNamara High School. Congratulations to Coach. Class of '89, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'll
Very cool for him, man.
do the
'cause
double check on that.
That is awesome.
He's got a lot of balls rolling this weekend,
Yes, he
man.
does.
5-1 Mustangs, home game, homecoming. NBC4 and Chad Ricardo got these guys ranked 18th in the area.
They're making a little bit of hay, and that, again, it's great for the league. And McNamara is getting better because of the league.
Oh, yeah.
I love the close game against Riken. Tip your hat to Riken. We'll get to their performance this past week, which is pretty strong. And we'll talk a little bit about St. John's as well, coming out of a bye week.
Yeah.
Very businesslike. I describe the Cadets these days, and I love it.
Well, it is business-like. They have a big business trip, and everyone knows, the old guys told me when I got to St. John's in the late 80s, never, ever sleep on heading to Forestville. You don't do it. You don't mess around with Forestville. A lot of times, teams have gone in there with an idea of a W and come out with a big fat L hanging around their neck. And the guys like Quinn Osborne remind me of the old school Art Pettyways. Quinn Osborne, 15 tackles and 2 sacks in this game against Paul VI. He tackled everyone. He was tackling linemen, cheerleaders, water boys. He just tackles people.
He's out in the yard right now, just making sure no one gets past the basement door.
That's Bobby Boucher style, man. You give him that
It
tackling
is.
fuel and it's over. Quinn Osborne will get you down.
52.
Yeah.
52.
Another point about number 35, we saw one of the things you notice when you watch high school teams, especially the great ones that we get to see on a weekly basis, the subtle differences. Because you can see a halfway decent WCAC team hang with a much better WCAC team for 1, 2, 2.5 quarters. But it's that extra quarter and a half at the end of the game where the Gonzagas, for example, have been making their
Where they're deeper,
play
they're
where
stronger,
you expect
bigger.
St. John's and DeMatha, and especially a defense like, could counsel with Mitchell Melton
Yeah.
and Chris Jenkins. So I'm proud of Quinn Osborne and his teammates because we watched him last year up close and personal against Gonzaga pretty much be milked of every last ounce of gas in that third quarter and before Gonzaga really ran away with the game in Forestville. So I'm proud of those guys, and I know I know they're excited to have a chance to show what they got against some of the best teams in the country, and that's a great opportunity for the Mustangs.
And the St. John's Cadets, everyone, it's a new slate. They have a new opportunity right in front of them. Going 0-4 against a top 10 national schedule has been ultimately criticized by some. It has been not understood by others, but all that matters to the St. John's Cadets is that they're all on the same page in that one locker room, and they don't really care about anything else going on outside of that one locker room, which is the only way to do it. They've gotten an opportunity to set off on a goal that they set at the beginning of the year that's still very attainable for them, and every other team as well. Everyone's goal right now for this football season is attainable as of right now. That's the most exciting thing. And I'm pumped for the Mustangs to host a game like this. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you
It's
what,
big time.
There's no team in the country that deserved a week off more than St. John's did this past week. And, all they have to do is just regroup, get themselves healthy again. And as you said, and we've mentioned on the show that Coach Kaz was interviewed at the beginning of the season about this schedule, and what do you possibly think about doing all 10, top 10 teams in the season? And he said, no, because I'm not going to give up on the WCAC. That's our goal. That's what we want to do.
No, there's no giving up.
And that was great. That was before the season
even
started.
This is all about the league.
That was before the season even started. Is that he said the goal was the WCAC. Yeah, it's great. We get this opportunity to do this, national schedule, but the WCAC
Can't change where you're from.
So
can't change where you're from.
No, we're back in PG. A DC team is crossing over into PG County for a big hitter. Another DC team is crossing over to Montgomery County for a big hitter. We'll get to that. DeMatha, they're on a bye this week, and they took care of their business against Friendship Collegiate. Mike Hunter and that squad, the Beach Boys. That's a strong
Mike had
DC
to go back
team
to
right
back
there.
WCAC, this season. And
Mike's not afraid to play anybody.
It was an odd game because it looked like it was going to be another game where DeMatha was just going to roll and you use that running game in the second half to just wear down the opponent. Went out to a 17-0 lead. Malachi Anthony probably had the best game of his DeMatha career. 128 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns, both of them over 50 yards. One to Jones, one to Marshawn. So they got it rolling, but then something happened in the second half, and it ended at 17-0. But again, I think right now DeMatha is a team that has been honing their skills to what they do best over the course of the last 4 weeks, which is get a lead early, use that running game, have a big playability with the play action, and Malachi also can run the ball extremely well. So that defense is doing a great job.
I was going to say, man, you pitch a shutout against Mike Hunter.
Yep.
Listen, I go back in the same coaching school as him, and I understand that guy knew how to put points up on the board as a player and as a coach. A little too much Colin Mobley, Greg Penn, Keziah Izzard. That's a nasty defense.
Those guys, too, I think are gelling now where they maybe weren't when they were playing Bosco in the beginning of the season. I think they have matured as a team more, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep that kind of pedal to the metal when they get to the WCAC.
Very interesting. We all know the legend that Bill McGregor is. We all know he started back, and this is second nature to him. But each team, and Coach will tell you, is different. Each year is different. Each kid is different. And there certainly needed to be a little bit of a buffer there before these guys got all on the same page, and Coach knows that better than anyone. As is told with his 23 appearances and WCAC titles over the years. He understands how to get a team playing good starting right about now, fellas.
Yeah, and he coaches in a way where players want to make him proud. They want to prove to him that they can get it done, and he does it in such a great way as a teacher and as a mentor. And I think I could see that again. It's the way this team is growing up from that Bosco game where they were on national TV and people thought, no, they're not good enough, right? I think they've gotten better as a team and as a whole unit, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens when it all goes down.
Yeah, well, hey, before we talk about these other guys, Kenny, mind if I jump in here and give the other updates of the week?
Please do.
The Chip Armstrong-led Ireton Cardinals.
Former Mustang coach.
Former McNamara Mustang, present Ireton coach right now, took care of St. John Paul the Great, 45-7.
Whoa.
This Ireton offense has been putting up ridiculous numbers. They're scoring 50 the 2 weeks previous, 45 this week. They're 4-2 heading into league play. They got a contest against Paul VI at Paul VI this weekend. We'll see how that one goes for them.
That's going to be good.
O'Connell fought hard in the district and took a loss 21-16 to St. Albans. Kenny Lucas and the guys at 1-4.
Yep.
And like we talked about, it's a reload year and a new coach taking over a new program. And anyone that knows Kenny Lucas knows they'll get these guys on the right track. O'Connell has a tough one. They head down to the Hawaii of the WCAC, taking on St. Mary's Riken, who's 3-3, coming off a nutty game against Good Counsel where they played out of their minds and had a shot to win at the end. We'll get into that in a little bit. Carroll, that old wily veteran, Coach Rob Harris, plays not a preseason schedule, a non-league schedule, and then has a double bye. The old double bye.
The double bye.
The double bye.
It wins you tons of points
Hey,
at
listen,
home.
it does. It just does.
Yeah.
2 weeks, and then it's a whole new season, and it's a whole new WCAC season. And so Carroll's going to sit out this week. They are 4-2, heading into their 4-game contest in the league, and that's where everyone stands right now, heading in to WCAC clashes, and that's all we got from here on out.
Let's bring in TR.
Oh, yeah.
Talk a little bit. Because I talk about that Riken team. I know we're going to talk about that game, but so Riken found itself in the championship game for the other division in the WCAC, and they played very well. Had a little bit of a point to prove, and they're not a team you want to be facing. I think down the stretch here because they've done some good things offensively.
One
Yeah.
score
Oh, yeah.
over the line, St. Mary's. One score over the line. Sitting down here at the Wheaton Metro. One score over the line.
That school ain't a Wheaton anymore, but I do appreciate you being down at the Wheaton Metro. Pick me up at Junior Bacon
it's
Cheeseburger from the
I
Wendy's,
still
brother.
think of it, though, when I think of Good Counsel first. I still think of the Wheaton location all the time.
Well,
Right
and
up the street from here.
all the alum would feel the same about that. The old school alum, and Good Counsel was a different place then.
And so is Roy Rogers.
Hey, real fast, Tim. We have someone who's commenting on our show right now, who's a friend of ours from over the pond,
Andrew Griffith
Humphreys, and he said, "Sorry to ask, but I'm out of the loop. Who is the highest ranked team in the WCAC as of now?" Just for the record, he's from Wales, and he's an A+ guy. So
Yeah, you heard that right. Wales.
Wales, the WCAC has viewership all the way on the other side of the drink. Going into the last 4 weeks, who's ranked number one? Who's the favorite going in?
Gonzaga is a top 10 team in the
Gonzaga is,
nation
yeah.
with a superstar
Gonzaga?
They're
quarterback.
top in the
I think it's
in the
Gonzaga.
area. They're top in the area.
I mean,
Tim, you got someone different than that?
It's who they got to take on.
I still think it's St. John's.
Okay.
I don't care what the record says. I know what kind of talent is on that field, and I don't think Gonzaga has played anybody.
Okay.
And I think they're going to find out Saturday, but we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. So there you go, AGH. And back to you, Tim. It was a closer game than Good Counsel wanted, a game that St. Mary's Riken wanted to find itself in the second half. So pretty exciting times for the WCAC. What did you think?
It was an exciting game for St. Mary's, especially early. Good Counsel's defense continues to be just the finest unit on the field. But their offense has struggled. The younger quarterback, the 10th grade quarterback, and they're a little out of sync. He's a tremendous athlete, and he really has a big time arm, and he shows that off on complete passes and some incomplete passes. But they struggle to put drives together. And hats off to St. Mary's Riken. I mean, they played a tough game, and they got up early. They were up 14-3 early on Good Counsel. They had a nice drive they put together. Number 11 for St. Mary's Riken caught a fade in the end zone over the corner. It was tremendous.
He's a great receiver.
And then later that quarter, Good Counsel quarterback was sacked. St. Mary's Riken defender caught the ball out of the air. And took it 70 yards for a touchdown, and that put them up 14-3. So they made some big plays, but the offense after that first drive really didn't do a whole lot until very late in the game. Good Counsel came back. Savion Wilkerson had 2 touchdowns, one on a screen pass, and then another short 1-yard run that was set up by an 80-yard touchdown run by number 15, Sean Ryan, who I really think is an awesome back, and he doesn't get a lot of carries because they have a lot of guys, but I really like him.
Yeah, he played some fullback for him last year, and now he's getting carries out of the tailback position, correct?
Correct. He was a starting fullback last year, and he's always been a tailback at heart, and at some point, I'm sure he'll get the nod. It might have to be next year because he's only a junior, but he does great things when he's in there. But Good Counsel was up 17-14. They held on to that But that was early in the third quarter of 17-14. It stayed there for the rest of the game, and it was a defensive battle going back and forth. Very late in the game, St. Mary's Riken was pinned on their own 5-yard line.
Triple Indy.
And they went 5 wide, and the quarterback made a great play, hit a receiver in the middle of the field, and there was nobody there, and he just ran. He took it all the way down to the Good Counsel 17. About 30 seconds left.
Oh, wow.
They ran 3 plays in the end zone. Good Counsel had 2 interceptions that somehow ended up on the ground. They just dropped. St. Mary's Riken lined up to kick a field goal, went for the fake, and it was blanketed by that Good Counsel defense.
I
So it was a
That's how
very
they roll.
exciting, exciting finish.
I give them credit for going for the win. I give them credit. It's their one shot, to take down a team in the other conference. And hats off to Brady and the coaching staff for making the decision to try and get it for the boys. Yeah.
Absolutely. And see,
Can't knock
I
that.
said that when the game was going on. I said exactly that. I said the gut call right here is go for the fake, but
Right.
Good Counsel was all over it. It was it was a shame for St. Mary's, but it was very appropriate the way Good Counsel and their defense has been playing. They had 4 guys sitting there. Riken had run off 2 guys off to the side on a fire call with the field goal, a guy in the flat and the guy in the corner, and Good Counsel had 4 guys sitting there. So it was really
Roy Shannon.
Yeah,
special.
I watched that. There was no that the guy had to get rid of the ball, and there was just nowhere to put it. It was wound up bouncing around the back of the end zone. But you come from Leonardtown to Olney, you're not playing for a tie.
Yeah.
You're
No, absolutely
Yeah.
not. But I got to mention his name, number 17, Mitchell Melton. Good Counsel's defense there are so many tremendous athletes out there, but the stuff that he does and the football player that he is growing into, I'm telling you, this guy is going to be a professional athlete. That's just the way I see it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the game on your side of it coming this week. We have another guest coming on to talk about the other side of it. But I want to know, going into this is the first big one for Good Counsel. First big
It's
one
well,
of 4.
it's the league opener, and obviously playing this Gonzaga team, being undefeated, and really dominating the teams like they have, and obviously everybody knows what happened last year. The guy made a big play in the championship game, I guess. But anyways, he's back this year, and he's pretty decent. The
Yeah,
quarterback.
pretty good. That's okay.
So,
Pretty
anyways, I
decent.
don't want to downplay that. He's awesome. Caleb Williams is awesome.
he's a superstar.
And they have a great team, and they do a lot of things very well. So it's going to be a big challenge for the Falcons. But I think it's going to be Gonzaga 20, Good Counsel 21. Gonzaga has not seen a defense like Good Counsel's yet this year.
I think that's
and
fair.
GC is going to find a way to win on I Street on Friday night.
Well, I got to tell you, going back to last year's game, it was insane. Savion Wilkerson almost had 300 yards rushing. He was all over the place. This was Caleb before Caleb became Caleb.
Yeah.
He had a couple picks. He had a couple fumbles. It was like the Washington Nationals before May 24th.
Yeah.
So the real deal is
Right.
here now, and the real guys showing up this weekend against Good Counsel. I am so thrilled to check out the offensive matchup. Gonzaga's offense versus Good Counsel's defense is the prime time feature, 16-round slobber knocker, and that's what we're going to be really paying attention to all week long, and certainly this Friday.
And yet, still not the WCAC game of the week.
Well, you got to head to Forestville for
Gotta
that
head to
bad boy.
Forestville for the game of the week. Hey, Tim, we look forward to having you back on next Tuesday to talk about what I'm sure you're hoping is going to be a win for the Falcons.
Absolutely. We are all looking forward to it. I'm just going to throw it in there. I got SJC 48, McNamara 14. I like that.
Just throw it in there.
Mustangs, but
I appreciate that. Don't take that home with you, obviously.
But as always, gentlemen, have a great evening. As I said, and as I always will say, Falcons fly, Eagles cry. See ya.
Peace. Man, he's just throwing in the heat on the way out the door. That's okay.
Giving you some hotness.
I know.
Tim may have gotten the 3 of us in trouble with some of the Gonzaga parents.
Hey, he picked against the purple team.
Hey, just so if you're listening, that guy sings, that guy dances, that guy marches to the beat of his own drum. Tim Reddy's personal expressions do not
Yes.
reflect.
No.
But he is a part of our crew,
yes.
obviously.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
He
to
is.
each their
Just like
own,
the
man.
next guy
First
is gonna
Amendment
be.
sports, to each their own. Say what you got to say out here. But I think Gonzaga's fantastic, and I'm sticking by my statement.
Oh, yes.
I do think he makes a point. He does make a good point about the. I don't know if they've seen a defense, but the way that they've adjusted in games, look out.
Yep.
They're going to
Yep.
adjust to it.
Yep.
Play.
Welcome.
Jeff,
I hope you're done the dishes, my friend, because it's time to talk WCAC football.
Jeff.
you're
Clay.
live on the WCAC Spectacular. Jeff Clay, pride
1994
of
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga, along with us, 94. Welcome, sir.
What's going on? AMDG.
Well, hopefully we didn't wake you. I know
Yeah,
it's
it
a
sounds-
bit of a late Tuesday evening, but
Yeah, people
I
sleeping.
feel like we
at
have to
your
keep it
house.
down.
just so you know,
I've been getting tired of listening to that Gonzaga, that good counsel guy.
yeah, but
Oh, he's
you know he
He puts
sings
me
it.
to sleep.
He sings his way into the show, and then you just can't be Grimace over here. Come on, man. Let's have at it.
God is purple, you know.
Talk to us about
man.
his
I'll
purpleness.
be much more enthusiastic after we beat those dudes this weekend.
Well, talk about the game you just had last weekend. You guys had it. Got a little bit. Or wait, do I get that right?
Yeah, Plant.
Yeah.
No, we played Leesburg last week.
I meant,
Right,
sorry.
right.
They played
FLA,
Leesburg.
yeah.
It was Coach Travers' family, out of town family that he went down and
Right.
coached that down in Florida and had a heck of a career. Got them into the Florida playoffs down there and had a great run. And I know it had to be a special time for him. And he said it to bring his Florida family, his Leesburg family, up into town to meet his Gonzaga family. I don't think the players felt so enthused about it on the Leesburg side, but it was a good thing for Coach.
Yeah, no, our guys did a great job. Couple penalties early, but had some big plays in the passing game to the tight end. I think his name's Kariski. Big Nate Kariski, and then hit one to Fisher in the end zone. And of course, Caleb did his thing on the ground. And the O-line, Pettibone, Justice, Madden, Fashanu, and Trainer do their thing. They're really, really strong up front, and they were efficient, and we pretty much pounded the ball and got in the end zone a few times. It was pretty much over by halftime though, and they were pretty classy in the second half. Most of the younger guys got a chance to play.
Yeah, we're not going to do your family wrong after a big trip up here. You get them mall legs, you send them off to the monuments, and you bring them in
Mall
for
leg.
it's a thing, man. These
absolutely
teams that
is
come
a
into
thing.
town.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just hey, you want to take the monument tour? Don't take the Segway. It's much better if you walk. You got to show them the right way. Listen, we're fair up here.
Yep.
We're just trying to share, everything that DC has to offer.
So, Jeff, we haven't heard from you for a while. Tell us a little bit from your perspective how this Gonzaga team has gone from the beginning of the season to where they are, getting them ready for this WCAC, lineup.
I mean, I think everybody knows about Caleb, man.
Sure.
And he's just what he is. What he is. I think the secondary's been really good. McMurray and Parker, O'Connor, and Holmes, they've been doing a great job back there. We're only giving up 10 points a game. Scoring 39. So that's the formula for success right there. Hopefully we can keep that up. Going into the league is going to get tough. Everybody's hitting their stride at this point. And hopefully, if we take care of the ball, minimize penalties, and play Gonzaga football, which is smart, penalty-free, and no turnover football, then we'll be in good shape.
What is it, too? It seems like there's been a trend in their games where maybe they have a little bit of a slow start, and then they just turn on the jets at some point.
Yeah, it's hard to figure that out, man. Actually, it's funny you say that because this past game, early on, we had good field position and we didn't capitalize right away. And Coach Travers actually was displeased, to say the least. With
Because
slow
that's
start.
dangerous in the WCAC.
They called a timeout. Yeah, it is. We got to figure out a way to start faster. I'm not sure if maybe we're kind of just holding some things close to the vest, get a little more creative as we get to the league. But I'm sure they'll be ready. I mean, we got a great staff. They stay on top of the kids, and hopefully we can get off to much faster starts because you're right. We won't be able to get away with that coming down the stretch.
Jeff, just talk to me about one guy. I think he's a bit of an X factor on the squad. He's so versatile, and he's such a tough kid. Malcolm Terry. What does he mean to the offense at Gonzaga this year, man?
Yeah, unheralded kid, really. He pounds away, he chips away, and then every now and then he'll bust one. He's really tough inside, and that's what you got to be in this offense. And I think he's going to be an X factor. I think we get him going and make defenses figure out, who to stop, whether it's him or Caleb, and we'll be in good shape. He's definitely tough, hard nosed. He's your type of guy. Actually,
He is, and I was going to say he's heralded in this basement. You can bet. You can bet on that. Yeah,
yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys watch everything closely. You appreciate it, but just most outsiders, they're not
Sure.
watching game to game.
Sure.
They're not in the know. So he's one of those guys that isn't mentioned as much as he should be.
There's two other things I think Gonzaga's facing that are going to be challenges for them. One is that they haven't had the strongest schedule of the other teams going into WCAC play, and I almost forgot the second one.
I don't.
B.
I kind of take exception to that.
Not as strong in the last couple weeks. That's all. And two, here's the other part. The other point is they have the target on their back. Right, they are the defending WCAC champions.
That's a fact.
They have the target.
I'll let you two
back.
hash out that first point, but that's a fact.
That was not to be. I'm not taking anything away from the kids, Jeff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away.
No.
I'm just saying the other teams have played a very tough schedule.
Let's address the schedule thing. I mean, it's pretty much on par with the Mathis, except for maybe going out to
Sure, no, that's fair.
Bosco's. McNamara's schedule is pretty soft, to be fair. And then, I mean,
taking shots at Ken, everyone tonight.
No, the council lines up with ours too schedule.
It's about to get a lot harder, if we're being honest.
And St. John's schedule was insane. It's proven to be insane. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know. I tell you what, I would hate to be the first league team to have to play them, because it's been a long time since they got to win. That's not a shot. It's just those kids should be super hungry. But I don't know if the target's necessarily on our back as much. I mean, St. John's came in.
Oh, you got that bullseye. Bullseye, Jeff.
You're the champs. You always got
the top 10 team in the country.
Nice try, Jeff.
Everybody wants to take the champ down.
It's good work. It's really good work by you. You almost had me for a second. I was really like, wait a second, the target might not actually be on their back. But then I was like, wait, no, except for that big bad, huge target on their back.
Well, I mean, the undercurrent at each of you guys' school is it was fluke, right? Back-to-back weeks. Don't.
Oh no. We didn't see anything fluke. We did that championship game. That was the highest level of football.
You guys might not.
That was the highest level of football we've seen. Yeah.
I still go in the barbershop. I still hanging out with the fellas. And talk about the play at St. John's or whatever.
These are the guys in the barbershop.
There's a target on our back, but
you got to disclaim that.
It's the same old league, buddy. Everybody, we hate you guys just like you hate us when you step between the lines. So the target's on your back as well.
And that's very fair. But let me describe. T's barber smells like a bag of rotten onions. So the conversation in there.
Different barber. Everyone's trying to leave.
We got to get T out of there. We got to get out of there.
It's offensive to Tom, and I want you to take that back.
Yeah, well, Tom needs some deodorant. I'm just going to say it's not a great place to talk high school sports.
Stewed onions.
I'm going to go with Jeff when he gets his haircut next time.
I'll be like, man,
taking shots of a barber, man.
Hey, man, it's
not even the Mathis St. John's
It's
week.
WCAC League week. everyone's getting tackled. Everyone's getting thrown for all that.
But I mean, okay.
Everyone's fired up this week, man. It's time to play ball.
All right, so what do you got?
Definitely.
What do you got for us for a score?
Against Good Counsel?
Yeah.
They've been struggling on offense, and it's not to throw a shot. I would probably say 28-10 us. Our front seven, Isaiah Neal, Roddy Falk, they've been playing well as mentioned. I mentioned the secondary earlier. And I think we can get pressure on them. And they have been pretty one-dimensional. So hopefully that doesn't change against us, and I feel like we should come away with a win.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Sounds very definitive.
You guys got to give one here. I mean, if everyone's throwing them out there, I'll start it off. But I think it's a 2-touchdown game. I got Gonzaga 27, Good Counsel 14. That's Kevin Rick's right down.
T, you want to take a shot at it?
Well, I do think that they have the target on their back, Jeff, but I also think that they're ready for it. And I think they're going to show this weekend with at least a 2-touchdown win. I'll say it's going to be 30-15, Gonzaga.
It's all about love and faith, fellas. I totally agree.
I
don't know. Maybe next week it won't be the same prediction, but
I'm going to give
I wonder if you'll say the same thing.
Give Gonzaga 31 points, and for whatever reason, Gonzaga's given up a weak touchdown early to a lot of teams this season. Whether you would call them classically weak or not, their touchdowns Gonzaga doesn't feel like they should be giving up, and they've given them a number of them up so far this season. I think the Council gets one of those. I think it's 31-10. Purple Eagles, and because I do think that what I think is going to happen is the Gonzaga offensive line is going to rear its head, in a major way against geez, one of the best defenses, probably one of the best defenses on the East Coast, which I just think is going to be awesome in the fourth quarter. Jeff, I'll even say it'll be 14 points away in the fourth quarter. Like a 17-10
But I think it's going to be close.
game
It's
by
going to be
Gonzaga.
close for a while.
I agree.
And then I think Gonzaga's going to.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. Gonzaga will score that last two touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Plays that are going to just put it out of reach.
So
I was actually thinking about last year's game. We turned it over. We had some bad turnovers in that game. Kato may have thrown 2 or 3 interceptions in that game, and good counsel pounded us. But I just think this year our line of season, we got 4 seniors, D1 commits, and then Joey Trainer bringing up the rear. They're tough up front. They get on their guys. They take great angles. And I think once we get a sizable cushion, we can just assault games away. And that's one big thing that you can hang your hat on. So hopefully, I'm very hopeful that's what happens.
Well, there's one fact that everyone can agree on. It's going to get as physical as ball gets around this area starting on Saturday afternoon. And I can't wait to cover it.
No doubt about it. No doubt about that.
Jeff, we definitely appreciate you being on with us, and we expect Gonzaga to do what Gonzaga's been doing at a high level for a long time. That's playing 4 quarters. Everyone who plays Gonzaga knows you're going to get 4 quarters of what they do, and to me, that fourth quarter is what's going to separate them even from some WCAC teams. So we'll see if that holds true.
Yeah, they get rid of that slow start, and good counsel finds a way to make a play to Miles Cross in the passing game. That can keep them in this because they're not just going to be able to line up and punch Gonzaga right in the mouth, I don't think. But, we'll see. We'll find out about that on Saturday.
No fly zone back there, buddy. We're picking that off. No fly zone back there.
I was talking about the line scrimmage.
You got one more thing there,
Yeah.
T?
I have faith in Stefanelli in that line that's what they're going to try and do.
Yeah.
And I think that's their best bet with a little bit of
It worked last year.
Their own type of play action, big playability down the field, but they have to have somebody step up to make that happen.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Good counsel will have the ball in the fourth quarter with a chance to tie, but it could end up going the other way. Jeff, we'll talk to you about it in the next couple of weeks. We look forward to seeing you in person. Hopefully you'll be part of our performance, our broadcast day over there at Gonzaga on October 19th.
Oh, he has to be.
I assume you'll be there.
I'm not
and
speaking
you'll join
to
with
him
us
that day. I'm not.
Yeah.
You guys can be on opposite sides.
Okay.
That's fair. But
you have to wear the helmet.
Let me let Jeff know this. Hey, and everyone else, check us out at 1:30 Saturday afternoon, coming live at you from Forestville. Our prize guest, we're going to do a big feature on our main man, Asim Penny, going into the McNamara Hall of Fame Friday night, emceed by our man sitting right here, Ken Marangolo, MCN McNamara's Hall of Fame induction ceremony Friday night. Asim Penny going in. Check us out at 1:30 for a pregame show. Asim Penny, a league. If you're a historian, you know all about Cadillac Left. This is one of the best players in WCAC history. One of the best guys. Jeff and I's teammate at Catholic University.
That's right.
And man, I can't wait to have fun with him.
That's Jeff calling back. That's all right. We'll pick him up.
Yeah,
Hey.
you guys went out.
Hey, sorry. Well, listen, when you're doing the dishes and juggling life at
Making
home,
daiquiris.
a job, and joining us on First Amendment Sports, man, you're the MVP. You're the real MVP, Jeff.
I do no dishes, first of all. That's not happening. Don't make me a domestic, buddy. I'm out in these streets.
Hey, man, listen. I do some dishes. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I do a lot of dishes.
I do a little dishes.
You're doing
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
Hey, Jeff, Kevin was just talking about Hakeem Penny going into the Hall of Fame at McNamara. Is going to be our guest.
Hey man,
That's
I
your
already
boy.
know. I spoke to him actually right after that, and it was pretty emotional. That's my dude. He's well deserving. It's long overdue. I mean, he may be the most decorated athlete to ever come out of that school. So I'm
Highest
really happy
recruited.
for him.
Everyone wanted to see him. I mean, Notre Dame, UCLA, Texas, you name it. They wanted to see Penny.
Man, you should at his house. He's got a trunk full of letters. It's probably like 6 feet deep. It's incredible, and he kept them all. It's incredible.
That's awesome. Well,
All right, man.
He's a character, tough as nails.
No doubt. On and off the field.
We'll see you on the 19th, right?
Yeah, that's my date of birth, baby. 43 strong at that point.
Oh, man.
right,
We're going to bring him an old cake, I think.
That might make maybe birthday spankings live on the
Am
air.
I going to have to like you on the day that
You
the
can-
Maverick
oh,
plays
yeah.
Gonzaga
You
just
can
'cause
pop
it's your
you can pop
birthday?
out of the cake and get them both ways, Dick.
Oh,
I've already
no,
thought
I don't know
about
if-
it.
I don't know if Jeff's going
Bam,
to
Jeff.
I don't know if anybody wants that.
I'm gonna turn 43, and we're gonna beat that school in Hyattsville. It's gonna be a great day.
Well, we appreciate you. We will see you on that day, my friend.
All right, can I leave you with something?
Yeah, leave us
Yeah.
with something.
This is for my guys. Anybody from Gonzaga listening, you believe in you, you prepare, you expect to do great things. That's Coach Travis, baby. Let's go.
Getting pep talks.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. And until next Tuesday night, and on behalf of First Amendment Sports, he's Tim Strachan.
Appreciate it, everybody. Good luck this weekend. Stay grounded. Be rounded.
He's Kevin Ricca.
Hey, man, it's all underway. This is what we came here for.
It's
This is
all
what
happening.
That's why you guys click on this stuff to watch us. We hope we don't mess it up, but trust us, we're going to do our best not to, and we're going to pay attention. We're out here for the kids. Until next week, be a good sport.
As Kevin said before, we'll be live from Bishop McNamara, Forestville, Maryland at 1:30 this Saturday for a game where they are hosting the St. John's Cadets. We're previewing 2 weeks from now. We'll be at Gonzaga for the rematch of the WCAC final from last year. We've got more games than that. We're gonna be a little bit laser focused here. We've got 2 awesome games, 4 awesome teams. We're gonna get a chance to showcase over the next 2 weeks.
All of them.
That's right,
Yeah.
all 4.
I'll tell you what, the Mustangs know how to do football Saturdays, man.
It's gonna be fun.
They know how to do it. It's a fun place.
It's going to be fun. We'll have some cool guests joining us throughout the day. I'm excited. McNamara Homecoming, some Hall of Fame flavor. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo, and this was the WCAC Spectacular. Thanks, guys. Thanks, AGH. We'll see you.
Hey,
you be back
come
here.
on back.
Yeah,
for the
man.
Skins,
4 minutes.
Man. Come on back.
Maybe 5.
AGH is coming into town in about a
So
week
great
and a
to
half.
see you back, man. I was really worried there for a
Week
while.
and a half. We got them. Coming down for the Gonzaga
Nice.
DeMatha.